Hello everyone. Find this second session on pelvic inflammatory diseases. Types of PID. PID is of two types, acute and chronic. Acute PID includes different conditions like endometritis if uterus is involved, that is inflammation of the uterus, or you can say inflammation of the endometrium. Salpingitis when there is inflammation of fallopian tubes. Oophorytis when there is inflammation of ovaries. Pelvic peritonitis when inflammation of pelvic peritoneum, and it may be the pelvic condition. It may be chronic also. Let's first discuss acute salpingitis, that is acute inflammation of fallopian tubes, and clinically it is the most important type of PID. So we'll discuss acute salpingitis in detail. Etiology. Endogenous enteric bacteria from vagina affect the fallopian tube and causes acute salpingitis. These bacteria may be anaerobic and aerobic. Anaerobics are Streptococci, Peptococcus and Clostridium bacteroides. And the aerobes are, or you can say aerobic bacteria are E. coli and Klebsiella. Exogenous bacteria from outside the vagina, from outside the genital tract. They are also anaerobic and aerobic. Anaerobic are Proteus and Pseudomonas. Aerobic are Streptococcus pyogenes and Staphylococcus aureus. It may be STD, that is sexually transmitted diseases. This infection is caused by chlamydia and gonococci. Now what is endogenous? Endogenous means bacteria infect fallopian tube by sexual act, during menses, abortion, childbirth, through parametrial lymphatic from cervix. That means there are chances of the endogenous infection during these conditions where bacteria affect fallopian tube through these conditions, right? Exogenous means outside, so bacteria enter by instruments. When instruments are not sterilized, when the aseptic precautions are not taken, OT environment which is not sterile, DNC when done under all unhealthy condition, MTP, HSG that is hysterosalpingography. So in all these procedures, when the aseptic precautions are not taken, then there are chances of getting infection from outside, and that comes under exogenous type of infection. STDs, these infections reach fallopian tube via surface mucosal spread from the cervix. So this is how the person or the woman gets endogenous, exogenous, or through STD is the infection. Bacteria of acute PID are polymicrobial in significant number of the cases. It is seen that the bacteria of the acute PID are polymicrobial in nature, and this is seen in the multiple number of the cases or many number of the cases. In acute salpingitis, the fallopian tube is swollen, edematous and hyperemic with visible dilated vessels on the peritoneal surface. Sure signs of salpingitis are discharge of seropurulent fluid from the fimbriated end of the fallopian tube, and this is found at laparotomy. Now we come to clinical features of the acute salpingitis. First, symptoms. Sudden onset of the symptoms. Abdominal vaginal discharge. This discharge is purulent, copious. Bleeding per vagina at a time when menses is not expected. So when the woman is not expecting menses, at that time bleeding per vagina will start. Bleeding is often profuse and prolonged. Leukorrhea. Moderate abdominal pain, that is in the lower part of the abdomen. This pain is bilateral and dull in nature. Pain in the right hypochondriac region in gonorrhea and chlamydial infection. So now when you find pain in the right hypochondriac region, how can you know whether it is due to the gonococci infection or chlamydial infection? The onset of the pain helps to detect the type of the infection. Like onset of the pain is more rapid and acute in gonococcal infection, that is within 3 days the pain will start after the infection, and in chlamydial infection the same pain is starting at 5 to 7 days, within 5 to 7 days. Then one more symptom is dyspareunia, fever with rigor, that is also one of the symptoms of the salpingitis. I forgot to put a bullet here. Nausea, vomiting, dysuria, or you may find urinary frequency increases. Fitz-Hugh-Curtis syndrome, that is due to perihepatitis. It is a very rare complication of PID. It occurs due to liver involvement, and liver involvement is due to transperitoneal vascular dissemination of either gonococcal or chlamydial infection. In this syndrome, the patient gets pain in the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. This pain aggravates on breathing, coughing or laughing, and the pain from the right upper quadrant of the abdomen is radiating to right shoulder. When the palpation of this region is done, you will find the part is tender to touch. So these are the important findings or the features of this syndrome. This syndrome is rarely occurring, but that is due to the liver affection. Another symptom of salpingitis is headache, irregular and excessive vaginal discharge. It may be due to associated endometritis. Now we come to the signs. Rise of temperature, that is 102 to 103 degree Fahrenheit. In the symptoms we talked about the fever with rigor, and when we measure the body temperature it may be 102 to 103 degree Fahrenheit. Tachycardia, tongue may be dehydrated or coated, tender and rigid lower abdomen. On vaginal examination, especially the pars speculum examination is done. Now what findings we get? Mucopurulent discharge from the cervix, tender fornices but lump is not felt, and congested cervix, pain on moving the cervix. The woman experiences pain on moving the cervix. Now we come to the complications. Complications can be immediate or remote. So let's first discuss the immediate complications. These are thickened tube with closed ends, hydrosalpinx, that is collection of the fluid in the fallopian tube, acute pyosalpinx. Pyosalpinx is collection or the formation of the pus in the fallopian tube, tubo-ovarian mass, and pelvic abscess. These are the immediate complications. Now the remote complications, which occur in the future or after some time of getting the acute salpingitis. There may be tubal infertility. So woman becomes infertile due to the tubal cause. Ectopic pregnancy, that is extrauterine pregnancy. Chronic pelvic pain, chronic pelvic inflammation, leukorrhea, and dyspareunia. Dyspareunia is the painful coitus. So these are the remote complications of PID. That was about the acute salpingitis. We'll talk about further in the PID in the next session. Thank you.